one Walmart reward card with cash back in your wallet. Earn 5% cash back on everything you buy at Walmart.com.
Hello, hey, hi, social media family. Being of whatsoever race is, but then not necessarily being of whatever walks of life, fashion, society, lifestyle preference. I mean, you gotta recognize and realize people's places and things in the wrong time. I said, in the wrong places, wrong time, wrong crowd. I don't know where they're coming from. Neighbor from hell, faggot, once again. Into a monthly program. Got my attention. Yeah. I just say something. You know, like say, altogether different. Meant to say, I'm not just having tongue over the words because the devil is busy. Devil is demons, as you know. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common. So I say to you all, whereas I get more than enough my own business, okay? Give or take. You don't have to be involved with somebody else's possible worse yet. Yes, so I say to you all, in my social media family of whatsoever races, but then not necessarily whatever walks of life, you know, because not anybody, everybody can or could possibly be considered as being of your social media family. You can take it for what you want. I'm just telling like it is. And as it is, the truth of the fact of the matter, and hopefully I will keep it real and addressing whatever, 97 in the nation's capital. The extreme heat could spark some issues at hand to be discussed. That holiday also fueling concerns about fireworks safety this weekend. Passing motorists in El Paso County, different arguments, many different views and opinions associated with that being the same question. Previous I mentioned, for what it's worth. I hope you're that's on a much more positive note of interest than a negative way. And you know, mornings were made for better things, regardless whatever the case or situation, or ask about you know, the conditions maybe of extenuating circumstances, get one controversy that has yet to be resolved if it has not been already or not. The same topic of discussion or conversation or dialogue. That was to pound one or a few or four more. Then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver. And hopefully with that much less usage of excuse profanity, much better than instead with that much more cuss words instead of saying. Therefore, hopefully that much less likely as someone of such one being a whom is supposed to be believing God as a Christian, A.K.A. Protestant. No, don't go there. Don't even try it. Don't even think it. Not that I meant to contradict myself. Because if anything, I would want to speak more like so for the great word of God. But what I'm trying to say is, hopefully, not like someone of such one being a whom has professed faith in our Lord and Savior Christ Messiah deliver, coming off playing the part of the devil's advocate as a character in my own right, being of the lesser two evils as the same of a prodigal son. And what the worst two evils are like those false brethren, supposed so-called holy bendiles of modern day religious Pharisees and our Sadducees. Religious church hypocrites, religious phonies, religious shysters, religious charlatans, religious chameleons, religious con artists, the likes of the worst of the worstest of unbelievers and non-believers, being a deceiver who pretend to have become and pretend to be believing in God, as in Christians, A.K.A. Protestants. That's why I use just another crank caller. Sorry about that, you all, the interruption. And getting back to some of such as I think of it with that, my attention trapped back here. The reason on purpose is being, or I can go if I want to continue from where and when I last left off to finish up as a complete a form of previous prior line thought, and in the same sense of word, regardless of whether or not that my person I'm speaking correct, proper standard, English grammar, American dialect, or some such qualities and qualities or not. you know, and as I was saying more or less, so I paraphrase not quite exactly, you know, and as I was trying to get out of that of line thought in the saints of word statement in Bible, so rudely interrupted. And as the likes they themselves some such false brethren would be, you know, making up the majority of churchgoers, whatsoever religious denominations, being of the worst of the worstest of closet devil worshippers. But anyway, though, getting back to some or such other, okay. And before I were to get to speaking upon some such matters, as I tried to, you know, finish off the basic intro, being an introduction there, and or to, you know, bounce off the eardrums preliminary before I were to get into speaking upon some as such, vice versa. You know, okay. And so I say to you all, being of whom are, like I said before, so I say again, being of my social media family of whatsoever races, but then not necessarily being a whatsoever or whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences. Because people facing things, there are serious consequences for hanging out with someone, anybody, everybody. Been there, done it, don't want to do it again, anytime too soon up again. Hopefully it will be a long time in coming, if and when, or better yet to be said, if at all. But that's something such give them on time. And so I say to you all, being whom are of my social media family, being of whom are in addition, not counting the internet trolls and the negative, internet trolls for that matter. But as you all are, my social media family, being of whom are likewise as well, all the same, of the old, young alike, of both two sexual genders, of males and females representing the global community within this post-911 era, of our new millennium, of this apocalyptic day and age, and where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight, compared to how formerly previously or prior to the end of the quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. If not, better yet to be said, to be feeling all right. If not, best of all, to be said, to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly come or be stressed. You and yours, your family and friends, and hopefully me and mine likewise as well. All the same. Well, hopefully you all are feeling much better than what that my person I'm feeling like as of the present moment in time. You know, not so much as reflecting the title of this present broadcasting, man, compared to vice versa. Well, hopefully not. You know, which I had informed that of you all's person during the previous or prior former broadcast. How I myself am feeling quite up on the weather. I have yet to pay a visit to that of medical facilities, premises of properties of an establishment, be it public or private, and then do follow up at a clinic after doing just that for a local neighborhood community hospital for the vicinity area within city limits where it may well be in the suburbs or rural township. No, because I'm having quite a bit of allergies for some reason or another, and hopefully it's not anything much more complicated than that, or to compound the problem or dilemma than which I have become subjected to experiencing as a present time. You know. But then I would much rather be affected by Mother Nature than somebody else's ignorance, insanity, and impoliteness, stupidity, sickness, and rudeness, like what you all heard minutes ago with a neighbor from hell cocksucker, or perverted neighbor from hell homo-faggot acting out once again. For the umpteenth time, being which is his usual modus operandi, or whatever I said, or usual routine, upon quite a regular basis, daily and nightly, to go about with his orchestrated and initiated 2-cent power plays for the wacko job or crackpot crank that he himself is. Anyway, though,
Will be doing their part this
and
weekend.
where
The mayor said it must be an all-hands-on-deck effort
I
for
thought
Chicago if the city is
upon
going to avoid a
waking up
repeat of the past two deadly
on
weekends.
the wrong side of the bed today,
Every single day, we
you know,
learn from what happened
as well as
the
having
day
woke
before
up late.
and that day, and we use that
It's still all the same.
information and that knowledge, that
Go check
data,
upon
to make adjustments.
With
one of the
officers
female
on the
relatives
street,
of my
we'll be
own
focusing on
personal
getting illegal
immediate
guns
family
off the
household.
street.
We'll also have
Oh.
officers on foot patrols across our neighborhoods,
Wanted to find out that
the walking beat to get
Yeah,
to
my
know their
person.
neighborhoods and residents
I'm feeling quite up under the weather,
safely.
congested
Police
and
will be
all,
partnering with
you know,
community groups to help deter violence.
We'll be working around the
allergies
clock.
or whatever else.
In
Hopefully it's
most
not
cases
something else.
across
But
the
yeah,
city, you'll see office workers, case
yeah,
managers, and
well,
victim
I'm
advocates
feeling so
working,
congested, you know.
from a 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift.
Anyway, though,
even longer than that, because we know
and
that
with
maybe half of the conflicts that
to
are
eat
arising
much
are
later
happening
wasn't
after
helping
midnight.
matters any.
Officers will be
And as I stopped in
for large gatherings
a
and
neighborhood
not just to prevent the
store
spread of
that picked me up
COVID-19.
We know
quite a
that
few
in
items,
certain
probably no, I
areas
don't mean
that
like as in
are,
shoplift.
plagued by
I'm
gun
talking about
violence,
whereas I would
large
pay for
gatherings
some and stuff with my
are
own
a recipe for
monetary
disaster.
finances or benefits or whatever sort of type, be it
Before
food
you
stamps
pick up
or
a firearm
actual
and
cash
pull the
money.
trigger, aiming for somebody else,
I had encountered
think
this
about
one
the number
black
of children
sister
that have been
acting like
killed
some
just in the last 2
willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling nigger or
The police
nigger.
superintendent saying the best
And it wouldn't be the
way
first
to
time that I
use
had come to
violence
that
is
experience
to
and
prevent it
that
in
coming
the
from,
first place. He's
you
hoping
know, the
that
same,
help
like
those
her kind, like she was going into her,
this weekend.
what was it,
Area 147,
purse or something,
ABC7 Eyewitness News.
acting like she's about to pull out a lethal weapon of a firearm of a nature, motor make, assuming me to be coming off like a character in a store where she was coming off like the very one that she thought that I could possibly be coming off as or be otherwise. You know, I'm like, oh, are you serious? I didn't bring it back to her like that, but I'm thinking in my head. But it was, I said it was bad enough. Ooh, excuse me. It was bad enough. I was feeling quite up under the weather and I hadn't eaten anything. I was trying to get me something so I can get something in my system. And very seldom will anybody go a whole day without eating.
Chicago's beaches are still officially shut down under the city's coronavirus closures, and yet
It would be just snack food or it would be something much more nutrition than that. Yeah.
Nobody got the go ahead to clear
Hopefully one would get something in one system or one would pass out. It's crazy what tips, you know. Anyway, upon leaving that store after this one black sister and got the perpetrator on the trial before she changed her mind and then attempt to fake like she was doing something else. I'm like, why you funky, foul, stinking ass help? The willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling niggers or niggers like you that make the rest of us blacks look bad as you go about doing white people's racist redneck retards jobs for them to do nothing. You know. Anyway, though, upon leaving that store, I had from there encountered this one black brother behind the wheel of a ride or automobile motor vehicle. Yes, I had the right of way. I wasn't crossing the street as yet. I was still on the sidewalk. And he wants to do a U-turn and pretty much so jump the curb a little, you know. I'm like, what in the world, you crazy faggot ass bitch ass son of a bitch nigger? I'm bringing back to him like that, but I'm thinking in my head, you know, in my mind, I'm like saying, son of a bitch, you know, proving himself to be just as much acting niggly or niggerish as the willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling nigger's sister coming off acting like so in her own right. Only for this damn willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling nigger SOB bastard, butthead or bonehead ass cocksucker, you know, acting like he's gonna run his ride into me. Who did a U-turn and sped off just as quick. I'm not saying, well, like it was all that serious, you know, and get me to reflecting upon the most recent news report about a bicyclist being hit by a truck, you know. And though she wasn't killed, but she was put in pretty bad condition, whereas paramedics had to come and transport her via ambulance to the nearest medical facility of a hospital. Then, whereas more often than not, she would do follow-up at a clinic, you know.
and 869 new cases today. 28 of the deaths were in Cook County. The statewide positivity
So
rate
I'm pissed behind that, you know.
at 2.6%.
Like I say, it's bad enough.
Indiana moving into
I'm feeling up on the well, you know,
4.5 this
with
week.
how I'm
That's
feeling
the
congested and
story.
everything.
13 COVID-19
And these two
deaths,
fool ass
453
willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling
new cases
niggers or niggers want to pull this effing BS, you know. The black sister in a store, and then the black brother behind the wheel of a ride as an automobile or motor vehicle, or car to simply say. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you serious? The both of you two? Damn. With them damn willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling nigger slave mentalities working overtime, you know. They got the nerve to complain about how the white man, he's the cause of black's problem, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying, own up to some of your own damn mistakes. Don't blame all that effing BS on the white man or the white boys. They didn't cause all the problems you're having. You know, the former prior whitey masters of black slave plantations. Get out of here with that effing BS. I don't want to hear that. So when a black person gets to mentioning something along that line, I just turn a deaf ear, you know, because I know where the real problem is at, you know, where it's really coming from. All these damn willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling niggers or niggers, you know, doing a job of white people, racist rednecks, for them to little or nothing. And as they be coming off like the black Klansmen, then of whom are much worse than the much more traditional white boy Klansmen, as they blend in with the rest of us, you know, certain black persons coming off, becoming more of an enemy onto their own, onto our own, than a racist redneck white boy could ever be onto a black racist people's person. You know what I'm saying?
Manafort sent this email to White House senior advisor Jared Kushner, who is President Trump's son-in-law, urging Koch be plugged in as Secretary of the Army.
As much as I was like, you know,
the appointment never happened, but
and that black sister and the black brother pulling that bogus crap, and I was pretty much so fuming, you know, but I had to contain myself, you know. I had to get a hold of my emotions because I'm like, first of all, while I'm in the store, when that black sister pulled it, the effing BS bogus crap that she had done and did, I'm like thinking, well, I must try to refrain from expressing, displaying, you know, emotions, frustrations, feeling violated, because, you know, that's not going to help my physical condition at the moment with me feeling, you know, quite a little bit up under the weather, where I got to get some food into my physical body. You know, food like so, right, be nourished by, consume, to eat something. And then, whereas I'm trying to get some sort back to my place of residence, only to encounter this one black brother acting a fool in his own right. Still, I had to try to shake it off like water off of a duck's back, you know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you still got willy-lynch-letter-fulfilling niggers or niggers in this day and age still acting the fool, doing the job of white people, racist redneck, prick, faggoty, father, faggot, white boys for them, for little nothing, you know. Like the racist redneck faggot, closet faggot, white boy, dirty cop who had punched the sister's lights out. And what was that? Was it for a train station or airport or bus station? I don't know. But then the black sister kind of brought it on herself, you know. And then she kind of more or less got all up in the white boy police officer's face and was, you know, practically and possibly daring him. So what you want to do? That's when he hauled off and bitch slapped her or gave her a 1-2 knockout punch, hit her, and she fell back and hit the floor, you know. And, you know, I'm thinking, hopefully she ain't hurt like he broke her nose or something, or knocked some tooth out of her mouth. As I was watching this one news report segment or episode, he just hauled off when she got up in his face, "What you want to do?" And he said, the white boy, dirty cop, the white boy, faggotty, or father faggot, bitch ass, some bitch, dirty cop there. Boom! Knocked her flat on her ass, flat on her back, whatever I said. I'm not saying, well, you can't blame the white boy cop altogether, Can't blame him for that incident altogether, because you were partly responsible for inciting him, She had just, had a change of attitude, lowered her voice, not become so physically aggressive, and because when you try, well, can't really say word trying is a word. No, I'm not saying. I mean, I myself, I can say it, but I'm not saying. I'm saying to speak much more appropriately. Well, I mean, say when you're tempting, because she wasn't trying to do nothing along the line thought to be considered as more of a law-abiding American citizen. The word trying is for law-abiding American citizens in a form. She was attempting, like some kind of criminal. That's the word to describe criminals' efforts put forth attempting something. She was coming off acting of a criminal conduct, criminal nature, challenging that police officer, challenging his police rights and privileges of authority, getting all up in his face when you're not supposed to do that, And then what you want to do, and that's when he hauled off and hit her, dead in her kisser with his fist, with his hand balled up in the form of a fist, and knocked her flat out. Knocked her, gave her 1-2 knockout punch, knocked her the fuck flat out, because you could see it in the video. She went back like she been given a 1-2 knockout punch, knocked her the out. He knocked the her man. He knocked the man. I gotta remember certain cuss words I cannot use, for obvious reasons, for my saying so. Then because it's bad enough to use cuss words, which are mentioned in God's word, the Bible. Then to use those alternative cuss words that would further distort my good testimony in Christ's name. And y'all know how I pitched the bits in my last broadcast before this one. I'm pretty much so pitching the bits now, but hoping not as much as before. To just as much destroy my testimony in Christ's name in this one, as well as I had gone about cussing swearing like a drunken sailor in the last one, pretty proud of my form. But anyway, though, I'm feeling just so. So I'm gonna have to take me some cold medicine, dance, heat up me some hot tea. Try to see if that'll help get this out of my system. I was like, I ain't trying to go to the hospital this late in the afternoon or in the evening, then be like there for hours on end, and by the time you get out of the hospital, it could be like either 12 midnight or later, or get out of a hospital facility like something around about the break of dawn for the next day. So I'm like saying, I got to postpone it until the next day. And see about going sometime tomorrow. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Coles? What you want to do? What you want to do, Coles? Knocking about medicines. What's up? What's up, Coles? What's up? What's up, Coles? You can catch summer colds and summer flu. You know that? Like, I can catch winter colds and winter flu. What up, Cole? Cold and flu. We're working about the But then speaking upon some of such stuff, I seen quite a few bootylicious ass, beautiful few bitches and hoes today of different races that make me want to stick and stuff my dick, my prick in their asses down there at waist level between their legs. Not just black sisters and white girls that's Caucasian woman, but then, you know, geisha-gal, Asian sister woman, Hispanic senoritas, or a woman in their own right, black sisters, Asian sisters, white girl, Caucasian woman, just don't want to snatch the panties from their ass, you know what I'm saying?
All of these offers are good through the end.
Because
The
seasons that you should not want to wind up in the can, JAIL. It's for a hot summer season or a cold winter season. Trust me, those are some bad seasons to go to jail. Whereas the other seasons are bad enough, not like a hot summer or cold winter. Man, tell me, you would be in an effed up situation to be going to jail, regardless of whether or not you can, you know, get your charges dropped and be sprung by attorneys or lawyers. Still, all saying in the meantime, you'll be in a bad case of situation. You'll be in a bad case scenario to be going to any jail in a hot summer season or cold winter season.
Kind of unhealthy for sensitive groups as we go through the next few days.
No, thank you.
So these are the
No,
high
can
temperatures
do.
starting tomorrow
Since
through
the
the
last
weekend
time
into early next
ago.
week. About a 90s. Tomorrow
You know how that is. I'm gonna tell them like it is or what,
Sunday,
you know.
94 Monday, and
Got all the
93
guys,
on
the
Tuesday.
fellas in
It will
the
be a
can
few
in
degrees
jail,
cooler at the lake. In fact,
belching
we
and
can walk
burping and
outside
pooting and
10 degrees
farting throughout the night.
Most areas
You know what I'm
will be
saying?
90s.
You gotta
And
hear
in
all
terms of
that,
rain chances,
smell all
there's a
that.
small chance of an outside shower or thunderstorm developing tomorrow, but the weekend's looking dry. Small rain chance on Monday.
Man,
Tuesday,
those kind of places,
those rain chances
some of the
up to
worst or
about
worstest
30%.
ones, you can
Overall,
catch
pretty
that
quiet for the next 5 days.
CORONA-FAGGOT-VIRus or
That's your current temperature.
COVID-19 homo global pandemic, you know.
They've come down
Jails
since earlier in
and
the week.
nursing
So it's
homes,
not
all
as
that
humid as it
funky,
was earlier this week,
funky
but
F
still a
and
little muggy in
BS, funky
places.
foul stinking,
Nice and
stinking
cool
F
at the
and
lakefront,
BS,
78
you know.
north of the island, 80 in Waukegan, but still 89
But then if you
in
go to
Plainfield,
jail, you don't want to
86
go to
Midway,
jail
84
like,
Valparaiso.
you know, some
There's a
kind
check
of
on those dew
male
points. We get
sexual
into the
predator,
60s,
animal
which is
monster
better
character.
when we have those dew points in the
Because
70s.
they
It gets
catch
really,
more
really,
damn hell in
really
jail than
sticky.
any
91's
other
been the high today,
riff-raff
69 the low.
criminals,
This is the
you know.
10th day this summer where we
They
hit
get
90
their asses
degrees.
beat and
We're only about
stomped.
a third of the
They
way
get
through
their
the
asses
summer.
kicked
So when you look
like
at lockdown
nobody
percent
business
next
more
rate
than
off, it's all
any other
quiet, no rain
jailbirds,
nearby.
you know, in
Some
other
rain
words.
downstate,
The
though,
male
central and
rapists
western
and male
parts of Illinois, say
pedophiles
some
or
rain.
characters
Overall,
that
this big area of high
go
pressure
in any
is
jail
really just
wherever in the
dominating the
world,
area,
you know.
bringing the heat.
They get
We've
their
got heat advisories
asses
and heat
kicked
warnings
and
for
stomped the
central
damn hell out
plains
their
from Tulsa
asses,
down
you
to
know.
Dallas. That's where we've got temperatures well into the 90s in
Especially
a
if
lot
a
of
rapist
locations.
were to
But the heat extends
rape
all the way
a
into
90
southern
some or
Canada.
100
And
and
it's
something
going to
year
stay
old
with us here,
woman
as I mentioned, through the weekend and
or
through most of next
a
week. So to time
3-year-old
things out on
infant
Futurecast, tomorrow there
as
is
a
that
3-year-old
very
baby.
small chance of a shower or a thunderstorm favoring areas to the west
See, you
and to
don't
the
want to
northwest. That'll
be
be late
you,
afternoon,
baby.
early evening. It'll be
They're going to
hot,
bring
but
it
a
back
little
to you.
cooler
They're
for
going to
lakefront.
ask you,
On Saturday,
hey,
nice
home
and
team, what
comfortable
you
on
in
the
here for?
lakefront, but still hot inland up
What you
around
done do
90.
to land your
Then as we
spot
head
in
to
this
Sunday, we'll
cap,
climb
huh?
into the mid to low 90s.
I want to talk
High
about,
again on
man.
Monday,
Say
and a
what?
bit
Come
of a
again?
southwest wind on
Man,
Monday.
you ain't at Burger
Even at the
King, man.
lakefront, I think we'll push
Or
temperatures
BK, I
at
asked you a
least up to
question.
about 90 degrees on
What I say,
Monday.
man?
Tonight, mostly
Yeah,
clear,
I want
warm
to talk
night,
about it.
upper 60s
Man,
to
get
low
that
70s.
bass out your
Tomorrow,
damn
92,
voice, man.
90 on Saturday. Look
And
at
don't
that
be
heat just
tell me act like
continuing
you
next week.
got it
Tomorrow
like that,
gets
like
more
you
humid
calling
by the
shots.
middle
You
of
ain't
next week
calling
with some
nothing, man.
scattered
You on
rain
my
chances,
turf,
but
you
we're in
know.
the thick of summer
See
right
this here
now on
camp? This is
duty.
mine.
So into these
I run
90s
this
at least
here.
for the next 7
You
days.
see what I'm saying? I'm the big boss man here. I don't care what you may have heard, you know. This block is mine, you know. I mean, I'm gonna hold it down like anybody else hold their own blocks down. This block is mine. This is my territory. This is my turf. Now, I ask you a question, chump.
The police department strategy to
Do I
address some of the
stutter?
causes
Huh?
of violence in the city.
Buster.
Well, the Cubs are already
Poop
going to be
butt
down
pissing.
before they even resume spring training.
Yeah, Miller.
Why you
Details on that.
snot nose wuss or wimp?
Watch your
That don't make
team
me come over and bitch slap your ass. And be like, oh, that and so forth.
Sports with Mark Gianbecco.
Man, ain't nothing happening, man. I ain't gotta talk to you, man. You know, think what you want, man. Ain't like that, man. Say what? What you wanna do, man? Talking all this smack. Like you think you about to put on a gorilla suit or something? What you got, man? Okay, let's see what you got, man. Talking all this. Let's see you got some action behind those words. You can back up all that smack. No, I'm not saying something anything. You know, if you're a real guy, fella, you ain't one of them characters you guys say. Man, it's all cool, man. It's all cool. Everything's straight, man. You know, I ain't got no problem with you, man. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, chill and then buy my time to get sprung. Yeah, that's all. Ain't nothing happening, man. Trust me. If I'm in here for something, you know, or I just have to, you know, chill until, you know, I get sprung, you know. If I done something really like, you know what I'm saying, then I have to pay the piper. You know how that is. You speak like so, like that, then maybe give you your props, you know, because you're talking real. But if they still want to run game or prove themselves, then either you gonna have to prove yourself, prove that you just as much is it or more of a man. Depending on what manhood is to be defined as, you know. Because shot callers in the can, they don't look at it from a point of view of, you know, a man that should be respected according to what is a society's norms. Because otherwise they wouldn't be in there if they was trying to go about it like that. But the way they're going to express their manhood is going to go oops upside your head. You're going to have to prove yourself to be just much of a man in that sense of word to show them you ain't no easy pushover. You ain't no wuss, you ain't no wimp. Otherwise, you know, if you don't prove to them be you riding with a crew or hooked up with one or not, you know, or just going neutral, then if you don't prove your manhood and stand on your own, you know, like say, you know, be like throwing down for your crown, let them know, you know, you ain't gonna play me, you ain't gonna punk me. Then if you ain't gonna do it like that, then you might well just bend over and take one for the team. Cause it's like that, and that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no doubt about it. You ain't gonna stand on your manhood, you know. You ain't said a word, you know. I don't care how much you can attempt to portray yourself as some or such other, you know. They're gonna call you on your bull, you know. If you ain't about that, you about some or such other, man, they're gonna flip the script on you. They're gonna pull your coattail. They're gonna flip your wig, whatever, man. Tell you, here, man, here's a dress, a skirt for you. Bend over, bitch. Oh, I'm telling like it is or what? Old school here know what I'm talking about. So bend over, bitch, ho. Man, get that bass out your damn voice, man. Bend over, bitch, ho. You ain't got it like that. This ain't Burger King, man. You ain't calling no shots here. You ain't saying nothing but a word. But bend your ass over. You either bend down or get knocked down. I'm telling your ass from there. You don't prove yourself to be about the real man here one way or another. You know? Yeah. Because I had to prove myself when I was a kid quite a few times, you know, let them know you ain't gonna pump me, man. Be I riding with a crew or not. Even if I go neutral, you ain't gonna pump me. You know how that is, you know.
All right, the bull season may not be done just yet.
But then,
is reporting that the NBA
you're really trying to stand on some manhood. You wouldn't be putting yourself in that kind of situation in the first damn place. You'd be trying to stay as far away from the bars, far at a distance, outside those bars as you can, you know. As fools walk in where angels fear the tread. There's a price upon your head. Don't go to bed with a price on your head. No, don't do it. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. No.
COVID testing is
No, you hear all kinds of cocksuckers be talking BS. Man, that all I got. That's the length of my stint, man. I could do that standing on my head. Come again. I mean, it all depends on whether you ride with a crew or not, but you know, you gotta think about that one pop culture song. What a difference a day make, 24 little hours. Because you don't know what could happen during 24 hours or 24-hour day, and your homie's not gonna be there with you all the time. Now, sure, you may be lucky. That's all it is, really, luck more than anything else. You know, you get out of the heat of a situation brewing, and that next then like that could be, like say, be smoothed over. Everything is cool. Everything mellow that day, but the next day could be a totally different one. You know, you be looking around to, oh, where my homies at? Where my homies at? Where my homies at? Then all of a sudden, some like 6 to 9 other guys or fellas or rivals come out of nowhere. They all gathered at your jail cell. And I said, what up, though? What up, though, Mr. Big Mouth? What you got to say now? I said, huh? So, yeah, you heard what we said. Officer Turnkey, come over here and open up this jail cell door so we can show this brother what we be about. You know, grease off the Turnkey's hands with, quite a few green leaves, cash moolah, mucho dinero, and they come in on your ass and make you they bitch, have you sucking all kinds of, and they be forcing you to give them a head, and going at you. Otherwise, be jugging you down there, especially doggy style, spread eagle style. Even if you can or could possibly put up a good fight, but you can't fight them all for long. You can keep them at bay for a little while, but after a while, all that fight, you get tired, man.
Getting into a car accident,
fighting all them numbers of guys and fellas outnumbering you, overpowering you. Then all of a sudden they be like, we got him now, and pull you down to the floor of a jail cell and be all up in there. Like saying, man,
our experienced team knows how to take on big
man,
and get you the most money fast.
It's tight, man. It's tight. It's tight and it's good.
Find out if you have a case
Oh
in
man, then here.
We know what matters most.
Some such other someone, hey, man, so we can get some of that. We can get some of that peanut butter. Man, open up your mouth, bitch. Because I want to stick it in. I want to stick and stuff it in elsewhere. Open your mouth, bitch. I'm gonna give you a damn milk mustache.
That's comfy.
Like giggity, 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 yeah. This is America. Yeah. And this is Sally. You know what I'm saying? I recognize and realize, man, this shit is out here. Out in the streets in his own right. Not to mention behind bars for jail or the crazy house. You know what I'm saying? Man, here it is. We on the horizon of the eve of the 4th of July, man. Peace with folks acting crazy. Crazy as one be. More crazy a little bit, like a neighbor from Health Service, acting like a spook to sit by the door and dance on as well as like a midnight crowd, man. It's whack, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't go to the can anytime too soon, because they be in there, they like, yeah, this is America. Yeah. Oh, man. This is state. Oh, but I have a description for that too. What's that? Yeah, man, this has been one lousy day for me. Oh Oh, Abraham Lincoln vampire. All right, okay. Look like coming through.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but anyway, though, yeah, it's been quite a day, y'all. I mean, my damn general physical health is like, man, I'm feeling so like congested. And everything. So I'm gonna try to do some home remedies in the meantime before I would pay a visit to a neighborhood community hospital and then do follow up at a local neighborhood community clinic, you know, because the first time I felt like this, but hopefully it'll be the last time, you know, because I'm feeling all clogged, I'm feeling congested, man. I'm like, whoa, hopefully it's just Mother Nature, you know, doing a number on me, you know. Because if I would have catch some home-invader, intruder, attempt to come in on me while I'm sleeping, man, there will be hell to pay. I'm ready to box somebody's ears and then some, give somebody a black eye, a bloody nose, a fat lip, a broken jaw, a few cracked ribs, and then some. I'm talking about the whole nine yards. Because a brother man got to be about holding down his fort, you know? Like any man that considers oneself to still be a man, you know, compared to all these damn female impersonators otherwise. I seen some of them nasty ass cocksuckers the other day, you know, while I was supposed to be running the errand for one of my OGs, being of an elderly female relative of mine, a senior citizen for my own immediate personal family household, and these couple female impersonators of faggots that was like in this one place of business. And they look stanky as damn hell. And I didn't bring it back to them like that, but I'm thinking in my head, damn, something smell like dog shit. Something stinking like shit. Something really stinking like dog shit. Stinking ass lousy cocksucking and dog faggots and hobos. Remind me of a neighbor from hell faggot. Something really stinking. Rephrase that. Be stinking like F and BS. And want to be like wearing like some shorts and you know, sporting some shorts and displaying one Daisy Dukes. I'm like, I don't want that faggot shit. Hard leg faggot shit stink like shit like dog shit. I don't want nothing either you two got. I don't want nothing you got, man. I don't want nothing you got. I like I told them, they had blocked the exit way of that place of business. And once I entered into the entrance, I was like, hey, could y'all like step aside? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm just trying to get out of here and take care of the necessary business at hand before I would have called it a night. As well as I'd be like ready to call it a day. I mean, you can't beat that, you know, speaking like a man, so they should have no problem with that. It's only the hardcore female impersonators of faggots be like acting like they got a problem with the way you would express yourself like a real or true man. But still, I was saying, even they themselves got to give you your props. If you want a serious ass kicking or ass whipping, trying to be funny, you know, because a lot more faggots be like, faggots and female impersonators be attempting to violate other males' private or space areas or premises of properties or places of businesses, be it public or private, or be it for mass transits or public transportation systems with all of this many different bus and train rides to be trying to use the more appropriate word, be attempting to you know, crowd to those space areas. You know, they could have more than enough standing room area available for them to sit. I mean, they could have more than enough standing room area available for them to stand in, what I meant to say, as well as more enough seating plan arrangements for them to have available for them to sit in. Get to, you know, sitting down or something. So yet they feel this rather desperate, you know, sick in the need to, you know, trespass another male's private space area, you know. And that happened to me, you know, like once too often, you know. But then I ain't got to go there. I ain't gotta worry about it, you know. As long as I'm trying to carry myself like a man, you know, they're gonna have to respect me one way or another, you know. All the same as the neighbor from hell, faggot. You know how that is. But I ain't gonna worry about the cause God got it. God got it. I ain't gonna worry about things I can't control. Ba, 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 Jesus can work it out. Our Lord and Savior Christ, Messiah, deliverer, the rabbis, Lord, Lords, the King of Kings, Prince of Peace can work it out. Bump, 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 bum, 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 bum. Jesus walks. God showed me the way. The devil's trying to break him down. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I know I'm wigging, y'all, but hopefully not so much. I'm expressing myself like the lesson to you being a prodigal son. Playing part of the devil's advocate. So don't hold it to mind. Huh? Don't, well, you know what they say. Hold it to heart. Don't hold it against me. You know? But anyway, I'm just trying to keep it real regardless of how they feel at the moment. You know, in due time, my clothes shop. That'll be that, you know, and I'll be like, I see you when I see you. I hear you when I hear you. Just get back with me, folks, peeps. You know what I'm saying? Especially you ladies. Don't look good, 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 ladies. Now show me some ass. I want that ass. I want y'all asses. I want y'all asses behind closed and locked doors so I could get juggy with it. Be your black sisters or white girls or Caucasian woman or geisha-gals or Asian sister woman or Hispanic senoritas and etc. I want some ass. I want to stick and stuff my dick, my prick, my penis in your asses. Talking about at waist level between your legs, especially for that main spot, the G spot of your beavers, the bush. I want some, you know. Then even so, I like to check out the different ladies' boobs and badunkas, but especially the beavers. Not that I'm about to attempt to snatch panties or rape a bitch or rape a woman. Be looking at her from behind and be like,
Check out my RV.
baby, looking thick like a mouse shape, meaty and juicy and hairy, and you know how the average rapist and a pedophile, the average rape and pedophile, sex predator, and monsters, like okay, you know how the average rapist and pedophile be like eyeballing, well, mainly females or women and girls, though there are more than quite a few of them that be into molesting boys, as they come off like gay, pedophile, Catholic, creep wannabe, but you know how they like, oh man, and then you be looking left and right to see if anybody coming so they can make their plans to, after they didn't already scope, you want to stalk and then vamp or prey upon any bitches and hoes to they like them back. To make sure the coast is clear, because it's getting harder for some pussy, for some stuff furball, for coon tang. To make sure the coast is clear, so that from there they could, you know, meet a bitch or whore off at the pass, you know, close the gap between them, shorten the distance, and they be like, run up on the bitch or whore. Go in for the kill. You know, I remember some characters like that. It was like there's for a building structure here and there similar to each other or whatever. Whereas there's this building where it's in order for anybody to get into the inner part of the building, they have to get into the outer part. You see, there's like two doors. One door opens up and it's like a corridor, and there's a second door you have to open up, unlock in order to get into the building to go to the different apartments. Well, that was a major news headline story where there was a dickhead, prick, male rapist, SOB bastard. He seen this bootylicious, beautiful, and cute, born and raised female person representing opposite sex, a grown adult woman, you know. And this regardless of whatever her race may have been as well as his. But anyway, he sees she approaching the building and she unlocked the first door for the building. And he figured he'd try to act nonchalant and play it off like he's not studying her. But the very minute she like working with that first door and about to open up, he like gets into a jog and run, you know, so that he could make sure he catch that first door before it closed. Just, you know, because you know from there that if that first door closed, then ain't no way he's gonna get into the building from there, because he got to get through that second door as well. So when he see that it was his chance to, you know, while she's occupied her thoughts elsewhere, and she was on earpiece for a cell phone, too, working the cell phone while she doing all that. But that had further jeopardized her situation. And whereas the very minute she opened that first door to the building, and he in the process of doing so, and by before the time would come for it to close, he already caught the door before it would have closed. He got in there, and just as she opened up the second door, he right behind her. Then when she opened the second door and go in, he catching that second door and pushing her from there, you know, coming on. Then he grabbing her from the hand, which is the most effective way for, you know, male rapists, pedophile, dickhead pricks to attempt to get the pussy from females, and women, and girls. From there, he grabs her and pulls her somewhere, and he rapes her in the building. Get it. Get it. Give me the pussy, baby. Give me the pussy, huh? We can feel it all over. I can feel it all over. Get it. Boom, 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 boom. Catch the rainbow. He grabbing her love handle. He going all up in her. Dick all up in her pussy. Prick all up in her pussy hole. He banging her, boning the hell out of her, especially if he did a doggy style and spread eagle style in a couple of the much more favorite or most favorite sexual positions. He bust that nut. Looking just as retarded as President Mr. Moneybags, you know, the dotard president of D.C. was making fun of the mentally challenged, you know, going on like this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your President Donald Trump. I want to bring to your attention how I'm trying to do the best I can for the country, regardless of whether or not that my male person can or could possibly be closet clean or closet kraut. Donald Trump, quit making fun of the mentally challenged. You hear what I'm saying? That's not cool. And besides all that, I'm partially mentally challenged. If you look at it from this here point of view, from these here, this or that circumstance or conditions of nature, so far as my medical diagnosis of the symptoms being which is associated with the manic depression. You know, I just have yet to schedule an appointment with a shrink once again. and as most of my shrinks were women anyway, and when I say shrink, I mean psychologists than psychiatrists, because that's who I was seeing, mainly mostly, psychologists are shrinks, then because it's a difference between psychologists and psychiatrists, whereas psychologists can only, administer therapeutic talk sessions, counseling for their patients, whereas a psychiatrist can do both, administer therapeutic talk sessions of counseling and prescribe medicines for their patients, be their patients outpatients or inpatients for that matter, And so I have to schedule an appointment with a shrink, do all the initial paperwork, documents, fill out the signs so I can begin, seeing one for talk sessions after. This one neighbor hell faggot has for the longest been attempting to drive me, being that other person by myself, completely bonkers, and likewise as usual been attempting to make my life a living damn hell upon a daily and a nightly basis, and like the last neighbor from hell for the likes of his kind. That's like a real crazy dickhead prick, And I'd be like, man, what the damn hell is wrong with people nowadays, Why can't we all just live and let live? I don't care if there's a bunch of faggots out there on the increase. Just as long as they're not messing with me, bothering me, as long as they going about their business and getting them some business. And remember, I have rights and privileges all the same, like any other male, for my own kind of males, and consider the buffer zone, that is consider the peace and try to think to maintain the peace, then call the rift and some of such, by attempting to get out of pocket, because I don't like anybody to rub me the wrong way, step on my toes, and make me feel like a choir boy from a local neighborhood community parish who has been abused by a Catholic priest in any kind of way, I don't care if there were two faggots out in the street, hugging and kissing, busting slob in each other's mouth, just as long as you don't attempt to come my way within that nonsense, because I ain't gin for it, because I like pussy too much, than to go that route. I practically, if not possibly, would want to attempt to snatch panties to get me a piece of cat than to go that route to possibly be a faggot in the future. I'm just saying, as a matter of figure speech and for the sake of argument, that's not something that I would do, though. I come so close to practically, if not possibly, attempting to do something of that nature, like 1/10 of a century or a decade ago. I'm thankful that each and every one of them times I check it out, I guess it's only been because I'm allergic to jail in the crazy house, Okay? Whereas I come this close to get me a piece of free pussy, a piece of free ass from at least a few born and raised female persons representing the opposite sex, but then nevertheless a grown adult woman of different races and possibly different walks of life, facets of society, lifestyle preferences at that. And whereas one of the prospective prey was supposed to have been a black sister of a woman, the other was a white girl or a woman otherwise, and the third one, I don't know what race she could have possibly been. She may have been a mixed breed of some kind, as far as I know, as far as I care. But each and every one of them times, I check it out, Whereas 1 minute, I'm on the practically, if not possibly, the verge of getting me some or such. The next minute, I'm froze my tracks, Then just as quick as I come so close to wanting to snatch them panties, just that quick I retreated, Because if I had did that, if I had done what I was thinking about doing, if I did that, man, see, it's like this here. Rapists and pedophiles, they can't live wherever they want to live, because there are landlords or property owners, being of whom just is not having that, because a sexual predator, animal monster of a male character is more of a liability onto real estate owners, much rather than to be beneficial, You know what I'm saying? They can't live where they want to live. They can't hold any decent jobs. They can't get any good quality education because that kind of hate crime carries weight. It is some of such of a nature that will follow them for the rest of their lives. That is one of them hate crimes that can never be expunged. Okay. Because you could be convicted of a sexual assault charge or rape charge, and then be trying to apply yourself, be trying to seek employment with a business company, and they're gonna look on that form. They're gonna screen it, and then they're gonna call up and find out whether or not you legit, and then if you present some kind of resume or some kind of documented general identity of yourself, there's gonna be something on that paperwork that's gonna identify you with being one of the sexual predators of animal monsters or male characters. And once they see that on that documented form or paperwork, on that paperwork document, they're gonna say, "I'm sorry, sir, but we cannot use you as of the present given moment time." They're gonna try to say it as politely as they can, but when translated, it is to be defined as meaning, "Hell, damn, no, we ain't hiring you, you rapist, SOB bastard prick. The damn hell will we hire you for? So you could possibly rape female employees or rape a female employer, being of whom is associated with, affiliated with, and representing our particular business company with all these many different, nationwide and worldwide satellites? I don't think so. They're gonna see that. They're gonna see that on the paper document. Oh, this MF is a rapist. You can't hire this cocksucker. I mean, he may have a what you call a midnight a midnight whatchamacallit with a female employer, and thought may cross his mind to snatch some panties. You know what I'm saying? Now we can't hide this MF. Hell damn no, it ain't happening. Like saying something like, "I'm sorry, sir, but we cannot use you as to the present given moment time, but we will hold your job application on file just in case we could possibly need you in the future." And all the while they just lying through their teeth. The very minute you leave that of their business, they just grab your job application and toss it in the nearest garbage or trash disposal cubicle, because they like this job seeker is a definite no. A definite no. We can't use it under any circumstances, because you have got a sexual assault or rape charge on your record, man. Behind your ass. So down here we be like hiring you for, So you put our business company in a bad light, all kinds of news reporters, the news correspondents be wanting to interview whoever hired your ass. Hell damn no. I mean, it's like that, and that's the way it is. He said, "Oh, this is Mr. Giggity Giggity." It's like saying you want to Mr. Giggity Giggities. Want to see a certain subliminal message symbol on your paperwork documents that identify you with, because they run some trick games, some trickery on, they have them watermarks and everything. You think they don't have some watermarks on certain paperwork documents that would identify a rapist or pedophile? Think again, Think again,
in time.
Cause
The best part,
if you're trying to apply for a
it's free.
job and
I only pay
you
for my
didn't,
medication.
you didn't, you know,
By Amazon Pharmacy.
you didn't
Here's a crust
got
too thick
got
and cheesy
got
not to eat
a
in
sexual
reverse.
assault or rape
Keep it
charge
going,
on your
buddy.
record,
That's right.
you know,
Back it up.
and whoever supplied you with some paperwork document for you to carry to a prospective employer, somewhere within that paperwork document there's gonna be some watermark and signature, a symbol identifying you as a rapist or pedophile. I know somebody said, man, that sounds like some futuristic sci-fi conspiracy theory kind of stuff. Yeah, and it's ever so, you know, very few would know about that. It's ever so true fact of the matter, man. They got some watermarks, insignia symbols on some paperwork documents that you can submit to a prospective future employer that would identify you with being a rapist or pedophile, or yet, if you have ever sexually assaulted or raped somebody or molested somebody. You can take it for what you want, you know. I'm just telling like it is, baby. I can't get it, man. Punch it out the truth. By the mouth. Bitch, you think we gonna do? You think we gonna hire your ass, rapist? Bitch, say something, get the out of our office. Cause it'd be like ready to call security. If you see a bunch of once they check out that insignia symbol or subliminal message or watermark symbolism and insignia and identifying you as a rapist or worse yet a pedophile, if you see all of a sudden security guards come out of nowhere, they ain't just showing up just for the damn hell of it. They showing up to escort you from the place of business if you give any static. You know, the employer don't necessarily have to you know, like let you know that they call it security. You know, okay, and more likely more often not they don't until the last minute. Once they see that watermark on your paperwork documents, then all of a sudden they behind the desk pressing that secret button. Security, we got another one. Oh, you know about all that? No, it was for something else though, nothing like that. You know, thank God, because I was never charged with a sexual assault or rape. That I was never convicted of something like that. Because you know, if ever is what I mean to say, if ever you are having something that is just based on a technicality of a nature, and they ain't got any real proof, they got to throw that out. You know, any court, any judge, jury, or prosecutor, and if you apply to have it expunged, they got to expunge all that if you haven't been convicted. See, that's a different story. You know. So mark my words. You know. You gotta know when to hold up, know when to fold them. You gotta count your blessings when you're sitting at the table. Hey y'all, peeps, the folks, famo, social media family. I gotta wrap this up, regardless of how I'm feeling at the moment. You know, you hear what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Compared to last time, I was trying to broadcast late at night. I was feeling drowsy. I was nodding and I was dozing out more or less, you know, where I had to wrap things up within that first half an hour broadcast. I was wanting to go longer than that. I was gonna try to kick it live with y'all for about an hour and a half, but that time I had to wrap it up. I had to wrap it up from start to finish. We'll come out to about for a time frame period of a half an hour. That's 30 minutes. I was feeling just that. Regardless of whatever the developments that could have caused me to feel that way, be it the weather's temps or whatever else for that matter, not to mention a neighbor from hell, faggot, that could have possibly sabotaged my general health then and there. I'm not feeling too good at the moment. You know, I'm feeling kind of up on the weather. But anyway, though. I hope that you all have gotten something out of what I was trying to say, you know, get the general idea. And hopefully you have been more educated or enlightened than entertained, because I'm not really into the business of entertaining compared to educating and enlightening that much more. But even so, from time to time, I entertain y'all, but not like I would educate and enlighten y'all. Like I said before, so I say again, that much more. Because life is too short to be acting goofy, be you up under influences or not of a drink or a drug. And I've been having that lurking notion, you know, that 800-pound gorilla on my back telling me, go on ahead and take up the bottle once again, go, or smoke that pipe. You know, so far I've been managing to, you know, refrain from doing so, regardless of how I've yet to find some self-help recovery program meetings, being of which are open now, if they have reopened, you know, as well as find for myself some religious church services and tobacco Sunday school classes, you know, and because that's bad when you can't even go to church, not to mention a self-help recovery program meeting, you know, like it's a big old conspiracy theory gone bad, like the government is working against everybody, and especially believers in God. If the government has turned bad and like now is working hand in hand with the devils and demons church, the Catholic Church, the papacy, Vatican City, Rome, Italy, that has its spiders tentacles, and some of such a any and every church, you know, any major and minor churches, well, and the majority of churches are in devil worship, as the majority of church goers are, or whatsoever religious denomination. You gotta recognize and realize it's like that. That's the way it is, yeah. But anyway, I like to say to you all in closing, if you have not gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, I will hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins. By recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of Roman soldiers upon the orders of their religious peers, being the Pharisees and Sadducees, but then nevertheless, whereas he himself had given his life upon the cross of Calvary to become that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So if any of us, being of whatever races and of whatever walks of life, being of the old and young alike, of both the two sexual gender, males and females, representing the global community within this post 911 era, but no millennium, of this apocalyptic day and age, and where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight compared to how formerly previously or prior to then, it was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times, were to profess some of such faith in him. From there, we would become or be blessed in one regard or another, in more ways than one. First and foremost, with that being of his salvation, being of which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whereas all roads do not lead to heaven. Maybe all roads may lead to Rome in this world, but not to heaven elsewhere. You hear what I'm saying? So don't believe the hype. Don't believe any of that religious hype if somebody tells you otherwise. You hear what I'm saying? Man, because you believe that if you want, you find yourself waking up in a lake of fire, damn hell, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons for all eternity, to be raped by the likes of the Prince of Darkness, the evil one and his minions, you know, compared to how we, being believers in God as in Christians, A.K.A. Protestants, would be across the great divide that separates heaven from hell, beyond the pearly gates, in the company of like-minded believers in God as in Christians, A.K.A. Protestants, and in the presence of God and his angels, you know, and because we would have professed faith in him in accordance to religious or spiritual beliefs of faith. Because God is not to be mocked. What you sow is what you shall reap. If you do not spend quality time with God at any given time, you would have had more than enough chances to do so. And it's like you are some kind of a pig that is casting, or that has had pearls cast before you, and you have trampled some of such up under your hooves. You took it lightly. You did not seriously consider the salvation plan, you know, and that would be like a spit in God's face. And That's something that cannot be tolerated, not in the least, because that would be like the ultimate rejection of God's perfect love that represents his salvation. You hear what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like you would be putting God on the same level with all of these different false gods, you know, which cannot provide any kind of salvation for anybody that can compare on to what he himself has to offer. But there's only one divine person, you know, whom can or could possibly save your immortal human soul from a burning damn hell. That is our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah deliverer, you know. For broad is the way that leads to destruction, and narrow is the way that leads to life, and few there be that find it, you know. So don't let anybody attempt to tell you that there are more than one way to get into the kingdom of heaven, because the truth is, according to what we believers in God have given some such serious thought to or consider, you know, that the only salvation you could have is through our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah deliverer. You know, that's what we believe, you know. And so don't let somebody sidetrack you into thinking otherwise, you know. Because I would hate to be like the fool that has thought that there was another way to get into the kingdom of heaven. And because there really is, you know. You take my word for it, you know. I don't care what anybody else says, but there isn't, you know. I mean, if you want to go there and believe that there is, then go ahead and believe all that religious hype. Except Oprah Winfrey's version of what could qualify you to become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And you'll find out the hard way that that is not the truth. That you made a boo-boo, a lousy, dirty, rotten boo-boo. You fell for a lie, and you have to pay the serious consequences for it. I'm sorry about that, y'all. That's my alarm clock ringing. You know, I'm going to have to turn this baby off shortly. Sorry about that. Anyway, getting back to something I'm going to get to it shortly. But, you know, there's passages in the good book that says, there's a way which seems right unto a man, but the ways thereof are the ways of death. And so that would be the case for that argument. If you believe that, you know, people or persons can possibly, can or could get into heaven by some or such other means, you know. I mean, like, check it out, though. Like, that's just as foolhardy or so much stupid nonsense to believe. Like, if you were to, you know, find a snake in the wild and attempt to domesticate it, make itself as a creature of the wild your pet, you'll be in for a rude awakening. Sure, for a time, the snake may seem like, you know, like you can domesticate it, you know. You play with it, groom it, train it, whatever. You're being ever so careful, but then one of those days or one of those nights, you're going to find out that the snake is going to get tired of your bull or your nonsense of assuming that it can be domesticated. And then that snake is going to bite you. And you're going to ask the question, why'd you bite me, snake? Haven't I treated you, you know, like, you know, any pet owner should? Someone or such a one, a creature of lesser species as you are? Have I ever hurted you? And then you hear the snake say, no. Then you'll say, then why did you bite me? And then the snake will say, then because it's of my nature. I'm not a pet that you can domesticate. I'm an animal of the wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, you know what I mean? So you all, I hope you all have or whatever I said. Yeah, speaking correct, proper standard English grammar of American dialect, some such qualities quantities of knowledge. Yeah, speaking the King's English or street slang for that matter. I hope your persons have, been, like, listening to what I was trying to say. You hear what I'm saying? I hope that you have gotten a general idea of that being the same question the previous private mentioned. I hope that you all, your persons among yourselves, family, social media family, have become or have been educated and enlightened, more than entertained. Because, like I said before, so I say again, I'm not here to entertain you. Here, I'm here to educate and enlighten you that much more. So I have yet to, refresh my memory as to how to read a book or the pages upon some or such or within for that content between the covers, Not that I'm a country bumpkin, but I'm just saying for the sake of argument, as well as a matter of fact speech, because lately I haven't read much of anything, but with the exception of God's Word, the newspaper, and what few other, sort of type of reading material, and the mind is a terrible thing to waste, But what I do know, what I have experienced in, I will share with you, and hopefully you will take it with a grain of salt and learn from it and mature as a person. Otherwise, you're a fool, especially when it comes to the gospel message. But God is not to be mocked. You got to choose your battles. Choose life, not death. You all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed. Peace and love, joy and happiness. And be blessed, not stressed if and when you can or could possibly become of that status. And I'll see you all later. Until then, peace.
My basketball team can't afford